Hi, I'm Steph Holt from the Natural History Museum. I've been working recently on a project called Curious Travellers, which has been focusing mostly on Thomas Pennant, Gilbert White's correspondent in the Natural History of Selborne. During the conversations between these two naturalists, they talk about a whole host of different species from both Selborne and from Flintshire and from various other parts of the country and beyond as well. Two of the species that they discuss are here on this shelf. We've got the nightjar, what Gilbert White refers to as the caprimulgus, and the harvest mouse. The harvest mouse is Britain's smallest mouse, and Gilbert White describes it as a nondescript and his new mouse in his letters to Thomas Pennant. At the time, the harvest mouse was completely nondescribed. It would have been known because people would have seen it when they were working in fields, but it wasn't described in any literature about British natural history. Indeed, in Thomas Pennant's 1766 edition of his British Zoology, there's no entry at all for the harvest mouse, and it's not until he gets information from Gilbert White on his new mouse that he starts to consider an entry for this new species. In 1776, in the more recent edition of British Zoology, Pennant now includes a description of the species, and a lot of that information comes from Gilbert White. He talks about it being found in Hampshire, and he refers to information which we can see taken directly from those letters. Similarly, with the nightjar here, Gilbert White's letters to Thomas Pennant directly inform Pennant's British Zoology publications. In one of Gilbert White's letters, he actually writes directly to Pennant saying that he thinks the information in the first edition is wrong, and he's seen it singing completely differently and producing noises in a very different way to the way that Pennant is describing. And it's Gilbert White's natural history observations which Pennant then takes on board and uses in the later editions of British Zoology to update his description of this species. So these species are incredibly important, but so too is the correspondence between these two naturalists. There are many other species that the two men discussed and described, and we can see direct influence from White's letters straight into British Zoology, one of Thomas Pennant's major works.